Basketball time in Tennessee as Rick Barnes and his Tennessee Volunteers get the exhibition going tonight against Eastern New Mexico inside Thompson Bowling Arena. Well, Coach Barnes brings back a talented team led by Lamonte Turner and Jordan Bowden and Vincent Yarbrough. This year, they're going to be really counted on as leaders.
Both of them have shown that they can be double-digit scorers, and with the absence of the big three from Tennessee this year, they're going to be relied on heavily to do that.
So two key returners for Tennessee. Then on the other side of the floor, Devin Pullum, top returning scorer for the Greyhounds, 12 points a game last year.
Yes, Coach Siegler has a lot of confidence in this kid. He played for Coach Siegler's father in high school before he earned a scholarship to Eastern New Mexico, and we look for him to try to carry the scoring load for them tonight.
Trey Siegler's fourth season as Eastern New Mexico's head coach, a really energetic young coach, and he was a graduate assistant for Rick Barnes at Texas, so this means a lot to him getting to go up against his old coach, and especially here inside Thompson Bowling Arena.
Absolutely. Huge opportunity for the Greyhounds to step out and show that they can compete against guys at the Division I level.
Tennessee's lone exhibition is underway as the opening tap is controlled by the Volunteers, and Lamonte Turner quickly going to work. Turner along with Johnson, Bowden, Eve Pons, John Fulkerson. Coach Barnes wanted all of the returners to get the start tonight. Johnson finds it. Here's Pons. Just off the mark, there's Fulkerson cleaning up the trash.
Tennessee did an excellent job in that possession of sharing the ball, making sure that everybody got a touch, everybody got involved in the game. Fulkerson, full of energy, comes in, offensive rebound, easy bucket.
Now the first possession for Eastern New Mexico. They're starting five with Sawyer, Pullum, Ibn Zaid, Papaga, Kobas. Talented group in the Lone Star Conference. Eastern New Mexico is a Division II school. Meeting up with Tennessee in this exhibition tonight. Pullum from long range connects.
Yeah, he's going to come in with a lot of confidence. Having his brother play for coach, he knows exactly how he's going to be able to play. So that's the reason that he's out there. That's the reason he scored 12 points last year.
Second possession for Tennessee. Turner finds Fulkerson. It's a 4-0 run for Fulkerson to get it going.
Tennessee has a clear advantage inside. They're going to have to build that inside game up and then let it open the outside game up for them. Fulkerson and Johnson and Bowden on the inside much longer than the other guys.
Pullum this time distributes. Mapaga underneath. Left it a bit short. Tap back to Fulkerson. Lamonte Turner slashing, scoring.
Beautiful hesitation there from Lamonte. Misdirection, think that he's going to come back half of a Steve Smith spin right into the lane, easy bucket.
He's really turned into a floor general, hasn't
he? He is, and Coach Barnes is really, really proud of the way that he's taken the leadership role going through the preseason. Having three guys leave that gone on to the NBA, he was able to follow their blueprint, then it's a lot easier just to step in and go.
So he's stepped up as a leader for head coach Rick Barnes, now entering his fifth season at Tennessee, and all the success last year being ranked #1 for a month, got to the Sweet 16. He's got great recruiting classes coming in. He's got this program exactly where he wants it.
Absolutely, and speaking with him today, I think this is the first time that I heard him be comfortable. You know, he knows that he has a good team. He knows what he has coming in. All these guys have to do is go out there and perform the way that he wants them, and they're going to have a successful year.
Volunteers 3 of 4 from the floor to begin this ball game. And Tony Green with an early whistle.
The one thing Eastern New Mexico is going to have to do is they're going to have to give Tennessee at least a step. They're not really used to that type of quickness. They're not used to that type of length. So they're going to have to back up just a little bit and try to gauge it as these first minutes are played.
Darius Sawyer called for the foul for the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds. Went 13-14 last year. Bud had a winning mark in the Lone Star Conference. Finished tied for 4th in the league. Ready to resume play. Fulkerson, there again.
Just great job by Coach Barnes calling the play just to go straight back inside. You can see where they have the clear height advantage, so you have to go at that all night.
Ibn Zaid, point guard, finding Pullum. Pullum, another long-range J, and it's perfect.
He's got a nice stroke. I watched him in the warm-ups. He's shooting with a lot of confidence. He knows that his coach is 100% behind him, so you're going to see him get those up all night.
Now Turner, yes.
Good job. You like to see that from Lamonte, getting into the basket, getting into the lane, finishing. He's known as a three-point specialist, sixth man of the year, coming off. So you know he's instant offense. As long as he can run the team, they're going to be in good shape.
Go Boss nearly lost control of it. And an offensive foul called going against the Greyhounds.
Good move. Lamonte here sees the open, penetrate, easy dish, easy finish. No shot blocker that he's used to in practice. 7-footers there, so it gets a little bit easier tonight.
Just the confidence he's bringing every day. It's the everyday preparation that Coach Barnes really likes from him so far.
He does. He made the comment today that he was the best leader that he's had so far here at Tennessee. So to have that with the guys that he's had last year, the guys he's had in the past, is a huge statement for Lamonte.
Josiah Jordan James just checked in. He'll get the basketball now. One of the top recruits from this past signing class. Pons lost control of it. Greyhounds looking to run. Sawyer.
Excellent lead pass, run out, and finish. There's one thing about New Mexico, they're not shy to score. They're not shy. They're coming in looking for opportunities for their guys. Over the last 5 years, they've had 10 guys to go professional to either play overseas in Europe or South America. So they're looking at this as an opportunity for them to make a statement.
Going up against great players like Lamonte Turner year by year just keeps getting better in Knoxville.
Absolutely. Lamonte's one of those hard-working players. You can tell by his body when he came in, he was a little bit frail. Now you can see his legs are really good size to slide. His upper body is filled in, and now he's going to be able to take some of those bumps and bruises from the SEC.
Isaiah Murphy and Brandon Meadows just checked in for the Greyhounds. Down 2. 16:20 left in the first half. There's the deflection by James. Meadows trying to slash right there, but he trapped.
That's the one thing that Eastern New Mexico has to be aware of. Tennessee has really long defenders. You may be a little or a half step faster than them, but once they close that distance and then you're meeting the mountain in the middle, it's going to be difficult to shoot over the top of those guys.
Ball's trying to grow a 2-point lead. In and out of Bowden's hands. Another turnover on Tennessee. That's 3 on the Vols.
A little first game jitters.
Another long three-pointer by Pullum.
And that's almost 3 from the same spot. You have to make sure that you find and identify him before he crosses half court, but he's only taking 1 or 2 steps past and letting it go.
Turner left it a bit short, still a fight for it. Out of play, and the basketball to the Greyhounds when we come back. So a good start for Eastern New Mexico against Tennessee, led by Devin Pullum. Some big three-pointers by him already. He is a perfect 3 for 3 from the floor, all from long distance, and it's the Greyhounds by points. Eastern New Mexico shooting well from beyond the arc, and it's the Greyhounds in front by a point, 11-10 over Tennessee in Knoxville. And welcome inside Thompson Bowling Arena. Roger Hoover alongside former Vol Vincent Yarbrough. And Vincent, Tennessee loses a lot from last year's team. When you look at what Jordan Bone, Admiral Schofield, Brent Williams all did during their Tennessee careers.
They do. There's a huge part of the success they've had over the last 3 years. They've shown exactly how to build a team, exactly what they can do coming in with guys that aren't highly touted and just working every day and building a program the traditional way. And
then if you look at the numbers, the loss is even greater from last year's ball club because you had 70% of the scoring gone off last year's team. Just so much production from these guys. And we talked about the NBA guys a little bit. Don't forget Kyle Alexander.
Absolutely. He played a huge role in anchor in the middle. Those guys were able to get out and defend on the perimeter because they had a long shot blocker that was athletic behind them. So every time you have that, you have a little bit extra comfort level knowing that you can go out there and pressure with 1 extra step.
Volunteers losing 4 out of 5 starters. The top 3 scorers, we mentioned 70% scoring, have to make up for a lot of blocks. That led to a lot of quick baskets for the Vols.
Absolutely, and that was one of their mainstays, being able to put the ball out the bone, him using his speed, which he timed out as the tops in America in any program, using his speed to open up and then push the pace of the game.
What do you think Lamonte Turner learned the most from Jordan Bone?
Pace. I think when Jordan, at the beginning of last year, when he talked about he studied pace of Russell Westbrook and these types of guys, I think Lamonte getting there against him, learning that change of pace, change of direction, helped him out tremendously to be able to step in and play that point guard role this season.
Greyhounds off to a good start here in Knoxville. Murphy puts it in through traffic.
Nice move there by Murphy. Tennessee is going to have to also give them a step to judge their quickness. They're a little bit smaller players, so they're going to have to start to give them a little bit more respect and a little bit of a step to stay in front of them.
Then the 4th turnover on Tennessee, and misconnection with Gaines.
Great move here, able to sneak in with that right hand between the shot blocker, use the rim as protection, and flip it in.
Greyhounds shooting 71% from the floor. Touched last by Tennessee. And another one of the newcomers, Olivier Kamwa.
Great looking kid, nice body, nice bouncy frame. Watching him in warm-ups, able to get well above the rim, so it's going to translate to a great rebounder, great athlete out on the floor.
Kamwa 6'8" from Helsinki, Finland. First player from Finland ever on the Tennessee basketball roster. Kalani driving, gonna get it off the window, and back to Tennessee. Devontae Gaines with the board. Here come the Big Orange. Gaines knocks him down and commits the charge.
A little bit different from playing in high school, or I think he's here from Hargrave. The speed, sometimes the game opens up a little bit earlier for you because the defense isn't so intense. Now he's going to get used to having to pull up over the top of guys and then make a move just to get around instead of using his athletic ability to step through.
7-0 run for the Greyhounds as he pawns back in along with Jordan Bowden and Jalen Johnson.
Coach Barnes looks like he's extending the pressure, not comfortable with where they are behind 3 in the first half, so he's going to get out there and make them do something before they get to the three-point line.
Ibn Zaid, a great dish there, but it's taken away. Solid defense by Tennessee. Now Turner, head fake, Bowden, yes.
Excellent way to start the break. Your point guard gets a block against their 5. He pushes it. He finds your best three-point shooter at the three-point line. Easy in.
Jose Serrano and 1. Native of Marinas, Venezuela. 6'7", 220-pound junior.
There's excellent recognition here by Turner that he's beat. He's able to get it. Johnson gets him the ball, pushes it ahead, using his speed, and then finds Bowden in the corner. Easy bucket.
Now Serrano to the line with all the distractions in Tennessee's student section as Zach Kent gets to play some minutes. He replaces Eve Pons now, and Kent's sidelined all of last year with injury. And the basketball back to Tennessee.
Good to see Kent out there. I like to see him go to him and see what he has on the offensive end to try to establish that large size on the inside again and open it up.
Bowden to an open Turner. Pop.
Good job. That 1-2 storm punch is going to be really deadly this year. Lightning and quick, both of them. Both of them really athletic. Both of them complement each other so well.
Quick rebound by Bowden. A quick turnover on Tennessee. 6th on the Vols in this first half.
Those are the ones you would like to see Bowden slice and dice and get his way to the basket rather than looking to get up. Easy bucket. Handle the ball a little more.
Against Kent on the baseline, beat him to the bucket, and the foul called.
There's not enough real estate down there. When you have a 6'10", 6'11 guy, and you're used to going against a 6'5", 6'7 guy, you're getting around him. Yes, you're around him, but you're out of bounds just because his legs are so much longer and he takes up so much more space on the court.
Now the Vols back with it, even at 15, 13:25 left in the first. Jordan Josiah James, there's Gaines. Rattles just out.
Nice soft shot there by Gaines.
Now Ibn Zaid to Serrano. Murphy. Off the iron. Tennessee back with it.
Good job of boxing out, limiting the one shot there by Tennessee. Forcing to the outside shot, exactly what you're looking to do.
Josiah Jordan James missing there, but Johnson the rebound and fouled. Trace Siegler, head coach. Again, this is his now 4th season at Eastern New Mexico. Trying to turn around this program in a hyper-competitive league, the Lone Star Conference in Division II. They have 18 members in their league. It's really, they consider it the best basketball league in Division II.
It's a testament to what type of energy Coach Siegler brings. So there's one thing that stands out to me about Coach is that the passion that he has to see his players succeed beyond college. He's had 10 players gone on to play professional basketball in the last 5 years, and there's the little things that he continues to do to make sure or try to ensure that these guys have that same opportunity. And it's sending out information and making sure that everybody has a clear understanding about what they're good at, what they do, and what type of relationship that he has with each kid.
Rebound saved in play for the Greyhounds. In a game like this, they're going to be able to use these clips to get some jobs in Europe.
Absolutely. Anytime you can come and show that you can play against guys that potentially, one here, a McDonald's All-American, two here, a highly touted high school player, you show that you can play, you can find a job at some level there in Europe.
Just like that. Zaid right over James. Kent tried to save it in play, and it will still be Tennessee basketball.
A little bit of contradicting style. These guys are more junior college transfers, and they have a little bit different sense of urgency, and their learning curve is already taking place. So what you're seeing right now is some of the younger guys in Tennessee going through that same type of learning curve, and then after they get comfortable, they'll be just as good.
Another turnover on the Vols. Kawani left it short. Solid defense by Pons. By Sawyer. Pons grabs it back. Certainly over the back.
Yeah, definitely. Something.
Darius Sawyer called for his second foul.
Great defense here by Pons, going straight up, not allowing him to get into his body, continuing to move. And here, Bowden just shows exactly how strong he is. Doesn't really bother him with the guy on his back.
3 fouls on the Greyhounds, 4 on the Big Orange. Monte Turner already with 7 points. Here's Kent.
I like every decision Lamonte has made with the ball in his hands tonight. He kind of controls the situation. He makes sure that he's involved in it because he's one of the better decision makers on the team, and he's not leaving anything up to chance that it may get turned over by somebody else not as experienced.
Back to James. Welcome to Knoxville.
Nice layup. Hopefully that gets him going. Super talented kid. High school All-American. Played at every game that you can imagine. We're looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the table here at Tennessee.
Highest rated player ever out of South Carolina's Low Country. He's from Charleston, South Carolina, originally number 14 nationally. So much potential for him, and even some NBA draft boards, mock draft boards already have him as a first-round pick for next year.
Yeah, I think so. With his body and the way that he moves, his athletic ability, his understanding of the game, if he can catch fire at some point during the year, I think that we may only have him for a little while.
Pons with the block, Bowden with the tray.
Here's the guy that Tennessee has to get going this year. In order for them to have the same type of year they have, Bowden has to be head and shoulders the best player on the court night in and night out.
So in a flash, it's a 7-0 run for Tennessee. Grabbing control of the lead, Turner gets it to the backcourt, still fighting for it. Tennessee basketball.
Excellent hustle there by Turner. The one thing that you want is your senior guard laying it out there on the line, and even in the exhibition, jumping out there on the floor for the turnover. That's exactly what Coach Barnes is looking for.
7-0 run over the last minute plus to take control in the lead. And with more on what Tennessee is bringing back this season, let's check in with our reporter, Casey Funderburg.
Well, Roger, earlier you all discussed how do you replace players like Admiral Schofield, Grant Williams? Well, when Coach Barnes was asked this question, he said, well, you don't. He said you never try to replace players because then you're just trying to get a player to be like someone that they're not. He said he just wants his guys to do what they do and to do it well. He said the team this year is very different, which means there's a lot of opportunity for guys to step up and make an impact.
Thank you, Casey, and I'm sure, Vincent, you could speak to that throughout your career here in Tennessee, just when sometimes really dynamic players lead, like the best duo we ever saw since Peanut Butter and Jelly, Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield. Just got to take some of the best things they did and just move it to new people.
Yeah, you do, and everybody has to step up their game a level. Those guys are holding a spot on the team because they're so dominant that you probably don't get to do everything that you like to do. So now when those guys come, you get to try to explore your game and show the coach that, hey, that little space that's left, that 70% of scoring that's left up, I'm one of those guys that can step in there and fill some of that in. And as a collective group, if everybody can chip in and give 5-10%, then you can make that up. But no, it's not going to be possible. As you can physically see, nobody can replace Grant Williams. Nobody can replace Admiral Schofield, and nobody can replace Jordan Bowen.
certainly the challenge for Tennessee this year. Already picked to finish 5th in the SEC media poll and currently unranked. Did receive votes in some of the early polls, but that's not a bad place to be this time of the year. It's still October.
It's not, especially with a coach like Coach Barnes. He thrives on being the underdog. When he's the underdog, I think that he's at his best. Last year, they held down the #1 spot for a month, but they were just at a level that they were playing better than everybody else. I think in the times past, when Tennessee's playing their best ball, they have a chip and an edge on their shoulder that they're coming in to take something.
Pons just missed the dunk. Here's Drew Pember, and he'll head to the free throw line. Native of Knoxville and went to Bearden High School.
I'm sure you have a large following here tonight. I'm sure his parents are in attendance and very proud of what he's been able to accomplish and earn in his life here. Always had the dream of growing up and playing here because of the proximity that he has in Knoxville.
6'9", 207 pounds. He's added 20 pounds since he got on campus here to UT in May.
I saw him last year in the state championships, and he was much thinner. And I can definitely tell at first sight that he's been in the weight room and made a commitment to getting stronger.
Continues Tennessee's run, now a 9-0 run over the last minute and a half to grab control of this lead.
This here is unbelievable. 6'9" guard and almost a point guard. You know, that shows the versatility of Pember.
Isaiah Murphy off the back iron. There's Pons over everybody. Bowden on the baseline, draws the foul.
Excellent job by Lamonte, getting the ball one dribble, head up the court, delivering it to the guy that he knows is probably his best offensive weapon. And Bowden does what he does best, draw contact, get to the lane, use that athletic ability.
82% free throw shooter last year, Jordan Bowden. 5th leading scorer on the team. Season to go, but again, counted on much more this year.
He had some great games last year that he stepped up 20-plus points per game. One that stands out in my mind is Vanderbilt, who was very, very dominant that game. He needs to put together a string of those games and show that he is that premier SEC type of performer.
Tennessee really played well. 18-3 when he had at least 10 points. Casey, you have more on that?
Barnes said he really wants Jordan Bowden to focus more on being a complete player for them this season. He said he's always been a hard worker, comes into practice every day wanting to get better. And he said Jordan has this goofy, lovable personality on this team, but they really want to see him being more vocal out on the court and also having more of an aggressive mentality this season. Guys.
Thank you, Casey. And Tennessee being aggressive recently on defense.
Absolutely. They kind of closed the lid on the basket, challenging everything, pressuring out to the three-point line. Coach Barnes told him in the media timeout, this is not Tennessee basketball. You know, we got to pick it up, show why we are considered one of the top programs in the SEC, and they came out and showed it.
In and out from three-point land for Yves Pons. Meadows looking to attack. Pullum hit some big three-pointers early. He was 3 for 3 early. To help the Greyhounds out to the lead. Baseline jumper. Off the window. There's Fulkerson. Balls want to run. Pember draws another foul.
Great job there by Lamonte again. Had Bowden on the outside. He's kept Pember still running. Found him. Pember takes it up strong. It's going to be difficult to finish through that type of contact.
He was not always this tall. When he started high school, he was 6 feet tall. Then from there, just year by year, started to grow. 6'6", all of a sudden he's 6'8", and finally growing to 6'10".
Good-looking player for the Vols. Freshman, you're going to have a lot of good nights in here as long as he continues to work on that body, continue to make that same type of commitment that he made this summer to his game. I can see big things for him.
Really have an East Tennessee flair right now on the floor with Pember and Bowden, both from Knoxville. Of course, John Fulkerson from Kingsport. Josiah James back in.
I like Barnes' ability to bring in size with strength. You know, he doesn't have the tallest team on the court right now, but the strength, there's nobody that's going to push Pons. There's nobody that's going to push JJJ. So that it's going to be tough. You know, they can switch everything, and the length just bothers people.
Serrano didn't travel somehow. Knocked loose to the backcourt by the tip. Nice move by Meadows. Draws the foul.
Yeah, one thing about Eastern New Mexico, they can play basketball. They may not have the quality of player that Tennessee has, but they continue to be aggressive. They continue to do what their coach is looking for. And here, great move to get to the basket, and he shows off a little athletic ability. And that's what you're looking for. That's what their coach is looking for, to show that we can compete on this level and to try to give us guys another opportunity.
Brandon Meadows from the Bahamas. His home was completely destroyed in the recent Hurricane Dorian. His family had to abandon the island. They're just now able to get back, start the rebuilding process. Certainly our thoughts with them as they continue to rebuild in the wake of Hurricane Dorian.
Heart goes out to him. I know there's still a lot of people down there that don't have things that they need. If anybody can help and you can find it within yourself to do that, make sure that you donate and try your best to show some love to those people that went through such a tragic event.
Wide open. Johnson lays it a bit short. Sawyer the rebound. Sawyer lost control of it. Kamwa gets it back. Fulkerson. He'll go to the line. New hairstyle this year for John Fulkerson.
Yeah, kind of wavy, laid back.
It's kind of a clean cut, medium now. Let it fly a little bit his senior year. Redshirt junior year, I beg your pardon.
Still got that nice stroke from the free throw line. So.
Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, the SEC Nation traveling pregame show will be in Jacksonville for number 10 Georgia and number 7 Florida, with Marty, Marcus, Paul, and Tim as they break down everything for the gridiron to the grill for Week 10 of the college football season. SEC Nation presented by Aflac, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app.
Right now, Barnes giving his freshmen a little chance to grow up a little bit here in the front of the home crowd. He got 2 freshman guards holding down the point guard position. I like that. I like that he's giving them that early look to let him know they're going to be a part. This is going to be something that they do this year.
Serrano can't hit the 3. And Tennessee back with it. Just a tough stretch for Eastern New Mexico. 5 minutes without a field goal almost. Blocked out of play. Tight defense by Mapaga, and that sends us to a timeout on the floor. Just under 8 minutes left to go in half number 1 from Thompson Bowling. It's a 12-point lead for the Big Orange. On a 14-1 run against Eastern New Mexico, Vols in front by 12 here in Knoxville. Long trip for the Greyhounds here to Thompson Bowling Arena. They are from Portales, New Mexico. Again, they compete in the Lone Star Conference in Division II. A couple of alums you may have heard of. Dana Alton's the head coach of Oregon men's basketball, led the Ducks to the Final Four a few years ago. And then Bill Snyder had a legendary tenure as the head football coach at Kansas State. Trey Singler, now their head coach, really likes it there, likes the program he's building, kind of shuffling in a lot of new players each year. As we mentioned, Vincent, some JUCO transfers, also some guys with Division I experience in their past coming there, finding some quick playing time.
Definitely, and he's done a good job of identifying guys that work well for his system. All these guys, you can tell, even though they're falling behind here with Tennessee, you can tell that they all play the similar type of way. They're all quick, they're all athletic, they can all attack, they can all drive right and left hand. So those are guys that he's looking for to fit into his system.
Jalen Johnson with a quick 3 for the Vols out of timeout. Mapaga against Fulkerson. Off the mark. James the rebound. Devontae Gaines had some contact against him.
Tennessee does a really good job of, after the rebound, one dribble and getting the ball up the court. That puts a lot of pressure on those guys getting back. If you're not sprinting back, they're going to put the ball on the floor one time and be attacking the basket. That's what's led to the last 3-4 sets of free throws for Tennessee.
Devontae Gaines hits the front end of the 1-and-1. Comes over from Hargrave Military Academy. Some notable Vols that have spent some time there. Stanley Asunu, Jabari McGee, and Tyler Smith. He's been banged up a little bit. Had to undergo right thumb surgery in late September after a practice injury, but getting some good minutes tonight in Tennessee's exhibition game.
Look, this is the one thing I like about the kid. I saw it in shoot around. He's willing to sit down and guard. And that with his length, he has a 7'2" wingspan at 6'6". He's going to be able to stop and lock up a lot of people for Coach Barnes.
Over 5 minutes without a field goal for the Greyhounds. Serrano lost control of it, and a reach and foul called against Tennessee. Olivier Combois. Devin Pullum just checked back in. Murphy couldn't get it there. Another whistle blown.
Murphy's really athletic. He's off position for a four-man to guard because he looks to be about 6'5", very explosive. He puts the ball on the floor right and left hand. You're going to have to make sure that you give him a step. One time outside the paint, that's super athleticism to go up over a 6'10" guy.
A lot of changes for both Tennessee and Eastern New Mexico. Turner, Bowden back in, along with Zach Kent and Drew Pember. So a very tall lineup right now for Tennessee on the floor.
Very long. Coach Barnes is in the last 5 minutes has been able to go from tall and lengthy to more stocky and strong, and then back to long and lengthy. You know, and with different players in different positions. And I think going throughout the year is going to be a real strength for Tennessee.
Open Pember. Turnaround. Too strong. There's Kent. Lost control of it.
Kent has to make sure he gathers himself before he tries to go back into a move. And that's all about getting your rhythm back from basketball, sitting out a year, being back into action, and now trying to figure it out.
Ibn Zaid kicks it out. Murphy slashes, and it rattles in.
Murphy's a player. He's attacking. I like his energy. He hustles back. There's not been one moment that he's not been full throttle out there.
And check foul called on Eastern New Mexico.
Murphy's fantastic here attacking the basket. Takes a little bump, still maintains his balance, and finishes with the left hand. He's been that spark that's kind of cut into that Tennessee run where they haven't scored in 5 minutes now. He decided, hey, my point guard is having a difficult night. Lamonte Turner is really solid on defense, so I'm going to have to be that guy that steps up and apply myself.
Gomwan knocking down the first free throw again, originally from Finland, eventually made his way to Cumberland, Maryland for his high school home. First Tennessee basketball player from Finland.
I like what Coach Barnes has done. He's been able to go out and recruit the entire America. He has 14 players from 12 states, 3 different countries. And to be able to do that shows a lot of miles, a lot of commitment to going and getting the best player possible wherever he's at and whatever position he's at.
Poked away. Bowden still was fighting for it.
That's great hustle right there by Bowden. Those are the things that you're looking for, your seniors. When they set the tone, I'm going to be the guy that hits the floor, I'm going to be the first guy that dives on the ball, then those are going to be the carryovers that your freshmen are going to have also.
East John Gord just checked in, ready for the inbounds pass. Dane Kawani. Around Kent. Won't go there. And a foul called on Kent.
Kent has to do a better job of once Kawani shoots the ball, that he makes contact, keeps him off the board. One shot, one box out, get the ball to your point guards. They're doing an excellent job of finding guys on the other end.
One-on-one for Dane Kawani. Missed the front end. See if they get the jump ball or the quick timeout. Eastern New Mexico is trying to call timeout.
I don't think he quite had possession for the timeout call at the time he blew the whistle.
So possession error will favor the Greyhounds as Trey Sinkler's club will hang on to the basketball. The floor is dry.
You can tell both of these teams are very well coached. They're very well organized. You don't have players that are completely breaking the plays, even though they're at a deficit right now for Eastern New Mexico. They still are going and staying within their coach's game plan. Tennessee always stays within Barnes' game plan because they really don't have a choice. But you can see them executing, trying their best to execute at this early point in the season.
Zeke missed the three. Bowden the rebound in the paints. Hangs on to it. Tennessee, one of its last 7 from the floor after taking control. And a foul called on Ibn Zaid.
That's one of the things right there I think Lamonte picked up from Bowden. He's able to get into those guys with his speed, and at the contact, give him almost a Euro type of head up and draw the contact and draw the foul.
Now Turner at their line. It's the front end. Tennessee 11 of 15 to the free throw line to get it going.
Difficult, different shot from Lamonte. Right now he's having the ball a little bit too low to be able to get it back up to his shooting pocket, and he's trying to make it in one motion. It's such a long distance from way down there to get it up at the same time. Good shot there.
Gold stretches well for the Greyhounds, one of their last 11 from the floor. Meadows. Couldn't connect. Gawani fights for it. Still Greyhound basketball.
What Coach Barnes has done, he's found a good defensive game. And he has them in there. You got Ken in there anchoring the backside. You got Lamonte pressuring the point guard. You got Olivier, who's going to defend the rim. You got Tip Pember, who's 6'9", 6'10", and guard 1, 2, 3. So the matchups that he's putting out there are really defensive units, and that's the reason that you're not seeing any offensive production from Eastern New Mexico.
Side Jordan James back in. Bowden doing a nice job guarding the inbounds pass finally into Kouame, but it's off his hand.
Good job, good pressure there. Anytime you can get young guys, freshmen, to buy into pressure and ball and getting 5-second counts, then you know you're on the right track. Because the slowest thing for a freshman to pick up is how to defend. If he's talented, he can score. But how is he going to defend? How is he going to make that transition from being a great high school player to being a great college player?
Another turnover on Tennessee, so 8 on both the Greyhounds and the Vols in this first half. Devin Pullum, top scorer from a year ago, right to the rim, left it short. Called for the foul.
The tenacity hasn't died down no matter what the score is. They know what they're here for. They know that the possibility of a win is probably not there, but as their coach has told them, you're here to possibly better your future. If you can come out and show that you can compete at this level, then maybe there's something beyond the collegiate level for you. And I think that's the inspiration that those kids brought in here tonight. Especially in the first half. And right now, it's just a result of Tennessee having more quality players out.
Coach Ziegler talked to us as well earlier today. A few years ago, they had an exhibition against Arizona, went into halftime actually out-rebounding the Wildcats. He said in January and February, once they got into their league, he was able to say, hey, you've been up toe-to-toe with a Pac-12 team. You know, you guys can get it together, and they certainly did.
Absolutely. The mentality of the team throughout the season, you have to kind of keep in check, because you can lose focus, you can lose who you are. A couple losses, you lose your identity, you lose what you're good at, or you forget actually what you've been able to accomplish. You know, so you have to have something to get those guys back on track to show, hey, we are this type of team.
Kouame lost control of it. Come with a good stop. Ball movement off the iron. Tries to fly in. Foul call. This will be against Tennessee, and that will send Murphy to the free throw line when we come back to Knoxville. It's still Tennessee in front, 39-22. Back the rest of the first half in a moment. In Knoxville, Rick Barnes has his program rolling. You look at the last 2 years, Vincent, more wins than anybody. Best winning percentage as well belongs to Tennessee.
Absolutely. And if you didn't know, you really wouldn't know that, because there's so many other programs that have a little bit more hype than Tennessee. But what Tennessee has been able to do over the last 2-3 years has manufactured so many wins in so many different ways. Bone, Schofield, Williams, those guys, they were just different. They blocked out all the things from the outside. They took their bumps when they were younger, and then they came back and they rebuilt a program. Like that was it. Coach Pearl was here. There was a little bit of changeover. Coach Barnes comes in with some guys not as highly touted, but they come in and completely redesign, reconstruct everything. And now you see a completely different product as Tennessee basketball.
Two missed free throws coming out of break, and now the Vols look to run. Tennessee just one of its last 8 from the floor, still shooting right at 50% for the game, 11 of 22. Here's James, tip to Turner. Basketball and back to the Greyhounds.
Tennessee has to reestablish their inside game. Right now, they're playing more perimeter-oriented and looking for jump shots. Right now, they have to get the ball inside to Drew. They have to get the ball inside to Vise and see let them try to dominate with their size.
Palombi knocked down the early three-pointers, has missed his last 2 shots. Murphy to Sawyer. Apaga. In and out.
Still searching for his first basket tonight. He has some good looks. Tried to attack the basket, just nothing fell for him.
Tested Trey, won't go for Turner. Sawyer down the lane, lost control of it. Basketball back to Tennessee.
Sawyer's explosive out athlete. Coach Siegler talked about him. His father and brother are here in the stands, so he wants to get there and show off some of that athletic ability. Every time he catches the ball, he's trying to put it on the floor and get to that basket as quickly as possible.
Hey, told us he can really create some highlight-level dunks, very similar to Eve Pons on Tennessee's roster.
He is. You can see the physicality. He's a lot smaller than he is, but you can see the similarities in their game and in their body type. One thing that I really like about JJJ is to be such a highly touted freshman, you don't see him coming out here taking shots. He's part of the team. He's learning how to play on this level. He's learning the fine things of the game. And once he does turn it on, he's going to be a monster.
After the Turner 3, a foul called under the basket.
That's a good look right there. Head up as a freshman. Not even looking for himself. More concerned about his teammates coming over the screen. Finds Lamonte, who's a great shooter. 38% last year from the three-point line. So that's exactly who you want taking that shot.
James already with a couple of assists in 10 minutes of play. At times he's been described as almost too much of a pass-first point guard. Sometimes Vols want him to be a little more selfish and take over.
Okay, but there's a fine line of being a great team player and looking for your teammates and wanting to be liked and accepted as a freshman, and stepping out here and really stepping out and standing out and kind of drawing a lot of attention to you. I like how he's doing it. I like speaking with Coach Barnes. He doesn't really like things like that. Neither does his mom. They didn't want to hear anything about being one and done in the recruitment process, and actually the schools that said that he wasn't interested in it. So he wanted to come to college. He wanted to be somebody that was learned and taught by somebody like Coach Barnes.
Fell on Kent under the basket after that rebound attempt on the free throws. So more time of the line for Eastern New Mexico. Sends Mapaga back to the line again. Still looking for his first point. 0 of 4 from the floor. Now he's to the free throw line for the first time today. Misses the first. Saturday, we'll have another full slate of college football right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. We kick the day off at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central with Texas A&M hosting UTSA in College Station. Then it's Mississippi State taking on Arkansas in Fayetteville. And Vandy is in Columbia to cap off the day against South Carolina at 7:30 Eastern in our SEC Saturday night matchup. Time at the line for the Greyhounds comes to a close. Now Turner gets the offense in motion. To Turner, what an assist.
Excellent read there by Bowden. Made eye contact with Turner in the middle of the lane. Could have came up for the jump shot. Guy turned his back door, easy layup.
Serrano fighting for it. Solid defense by Kent. Underneath. to go. It's back to the Big Orange.
See, for Serrano, that usually works in practice. But here tonight, the length that he's seeing, the athletic ability that he's seeing from a vertical standpoint is just too much. So he's going to have to make sure that he is able to attack those guys and not going vertical straight up and down with bigger, better athletes.
Out to Turner. Really impressive assist turned in by Olivier Kamwa.
Absolutely. And Lamonte, if you let him get his feet set, he's as deadly shooter there is out in the country. Look for him to be really aggressive and lead the team, probably in scoring this year from the point guard position. He's such an explosive athlete, and he wants it. You have to see him, and you have to see how hard he goes after it to really understand it. Great pass, eye contact right there from Bowden, finds Lamonte cutting through the paint. Too late a reaction from the Hounds. Lamonte easy left hand.
Calm with the foul, and that leads Murphy to the line. Already 16 points for Lamonte Turner, 6 of 8 from the floor. 3 of 4 3-point range as well, and look what he and Bowden both are doing.
And the thing about it is that they're not stressing the shots. They're not coming down gunning. They're not coming down looking. They're coming down being basketball players. They're taking available open shots. When their teammates are open, they move the ball. If they're at a chance for an assist, every single time they're doing the same thing. Coach Barnes has taught these guys the correct way to play basketball.
James, too strong. And that went out of play. Refs trying to decide either off Eastern New Mexico or Tennessee.
I'd like to see James with a little more patience right there. Freshman early has to realize there's still 15 seconds on the shot clock. Doesn't have to take that shot. I'd like to see him put it on the floor and use his strength and his athletic ability to get a bucket.
Quickly to James, short. Turner with the rebound, and Tennessee resets.
Excellent job by Olivier. Looking for his shot, being aggressive, draws two, buys Bowden enough space to set his feet, and he knocks it down. The 1-2 punch of Bowden and Turner is going to be electric this year. They both can shoot the ball. They both are very heady players. They understand the game, high-level IQ. So they're going to make everybody around them better.
Pullum likes long threes, and he connects there.
It's tough. The thing about Pullum is you don't know when he's going to pull him. he's not even been close to the three-point line for any of his 4 3-pointers tonight for 12 points. And so it's kind of difficult to sit down and guard if you know the guy may shoot it at any time. You almost have to stand up and move your feet.
Knocking him down from Chris Lofton range. And of course, Chris Lofton's been in town here in Knoxville, and maybe that's a little bit of inspiration from Dylan Pullum.
Yeah, maybe he saw him shooting a few today, or he saw Chris at the gym earlier, and that's exactly where Chris would take it from on the regular with ease.
Didn't matter if it's contested or not. Even Bowden, hand in his face, still knocks it down.
Absolutely. I had to tell, one day I had the pleasure of playing against Chris Lofton, and I wasn't sure. I watched him, and you see him, and he's a short guy, kind of common looking, not really athletic looking. But we got to playing, and I was like, oh, I'm going to guard this guy. He's the guy at Tennessee. So we were coming down. It was on the left-hand side. We were going this way in the arena. And he takes one dribble to the left, and he was at least 6 feet behind the line. I wasn't even thinking that this kid is going to do this. By the time he went to his shooting form, I tried to close out at 6'7", but it wasn't even close. I turned around and bottom, and it was like, that's who he is, you know. You see it on TV and you think, man, that guy, you can stop that. No, that's really difficult to stop. He's almost falling down and laying down and still can hit it at the same time. It's tough.
Final 15 seconds for the Vols. Already up 50-28. Turner's got 16 points, Bowden with 12. Turner ready to go. Cromwell lost control of it. Kent with the floater. And that's a solid end to the first half for Tennessee. Zach Kent feeling it. He's been waiting to get back on this floor.
Absolutely. Good bucket for Kent, man, to get him going. First half kind of struggled a little bit on the offensive end, contributed on the defensive end, but to end the half with a bucket for him, big time there for Tennessee.
For the Volunteers with a 52-28 lead over Eastern New Mexico in this lone exhibition of the year. Halftime, it's a score of Tennessee in front, 52-28 over Eastern New Mexico. We'll have halftime coverage from Knoxville coming up next.
Oh, what's up, Vol Nation? I didn't even see y'all there. You haven't been in the locker room yet. Oh, it's about time y'all get to see it. Put my little thumbprint in. Let's get to it. As you can see, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is where we'll have team dinner or team breakfast before and after workouts. Nice little TVs over here. Got the little lounge area where I personally like to sleep in between workouts and classes. Over here, we have the fueling station with personally my favorite snacks. I love these peanut butter balls. Teriyaki beef jerky is my go-to though. Over here, we have the smoothies, orange and grape, which are my two favorites. We got a smoothie maker over here, microwave, really all the essential snacks that you need. Over here, we have the gaming station. I kick butt on the bowling area right here. Not too good at golf. We got the best managers in the world right here. Say what's up. Yes, sir. And over here, this is really my domain because once you put in 2K and the PS4, I'm locked in. I have yet to lose a game in 2K20. It's gonna stay like that for the rest of the year. We're gonna go over to the film room to see where we watch film. We're in our film room right now. Usually we use this room to watch game tape before practice, after practice, before games. But also, you know, we get to relax in here, play some video games because we got the big projector. So next we can head into the locker room. That's where we spend most of our time. This is where we meet up before games, before practices, at least at home. And we just have some time to ourselves, have some time as a team. All right, so we got our own, everybody has their own space. You know, if you got stuff you don't want to show people, you put that in here. When you got your shoes that you do want to show people, like my PGs, my KDs, we got our loops. Our manager's real cool with it. They help us wash and dry everything after every practice, every workout. They're real good about that. And then, you know, more of your hidden space that you don't really want to show people. That's where you put that stuff. Our offense and defense is right here. Our mentality, how we look at our offense and how we look at our defense. This is the steps for both. And that's a good thing to look at before games and before practice. I mean, to just remind yourself how we do things here at Tennessee. And then up here we got the Enom. It's not about me. We got responsibility, respect, and humility. Those are like key aspects of what Tennessee basketball is about. I mean, you show them the locker room, I'm gonna show them the training room. All right, so this is a bathroom. The shower's on the other side. Walk into the hydrotherapy room. Oh, we got a couple guys taking massages right now. But we got the hot tub, got the cold tub on that side, the Hydro Works, which is a water treadmill. We got some TVs in here. And then we'll take you to the main part. This is a man behind everything. The greatest trainer of all time right here. He knows every single thing you need to know about the human body. We got some nice logos around here for the men's and the women's side. You can sit on these, so it's easier to get your ankles taped. That's a stretch table over there. We got 2 offices. Basically have everything you need
One of the most convenient things about it is how close it is to the locker room. So, now y'all got the tour. We'll catch you later. See ya.
Halftime in Knoxville. It's the Volunteers up 52-28 over Eastern New Mexico. Back courtside here inside of Thompson Bowling Arena. This is Roger Hoover alongside Vincent Yarbrough. And Vincent, maybe it took Tennessee just a little bit to find their rhythm, but once they did, scored a lot of points in a hurry.
It did, and once they picked up on the defensive end, adjusted to what Eastern New Mexico was doing, they were able to find their rhythm and get into it.
Well, Eastern New Mexico certainly got off to a hot start inside Thompson Bowling Arena thanks to some long three-pointers by Devin Pullum.
Absolutely. As we said in the open, this guy's going to come in with a lot of confidence. Coach knows him. He knows his family, knows his background, so he knows that he knows that he can come out and be really aggressive, take shots from probably other places that other guys can't. So that's what led to him 4 for 4.
So he keyed the Greyhounds to an early advantage, but once Tennessee got it rolling, it was thanks to Jordan Bell.
Absolutely. Jordan's a silent killer. He doesn't take a bunch of shots, but the ones that he do, they're huge during the game. He comes down, he knocks down three-pointer, he's able to get to the lane and finish, and then they always keep it his cool.
Monte Turner taking over as the point guard for Tennessee. He's been a floor general, and he can score in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. Lamonte's been that force that Tennessee needed tonight. He's come out with 16 points. He's shooting 3 for 4 from the three-point line, and if he's going to continue to do that, he's going to have a really successful year this year for Tennessee.
Let's check in with Casey Funderburg. She's standing by with Eastern New Mexico coach Trace Siegler.
Coach Siegler, it was a tough first half, but what have you liked out of your team so far this game?
I think, obviously, coming to this environment, I'm glad that they weren't completely scared. I thought we had a great start and we're tough at the beginning. The offensive rebound is not to our standards, so we have to increase that. I mean, their size is impressive. They got some big guys, and Coach Barnes has them playing really hard. So, I think all in all, I'm proud of the toughness in the fight, but we made some mistakes, and you can't do that at Tennessee.
What do you want to see out of them the second half?
To calm down. They pushed us out of our offensive spacing, and I want to play where we want to play from. And so in our league, we face some of the same kind of pressure defense, and so we're hoping that we can settle down at least so we can run our offense from our spots that we want. But I think if we can do that, we can get back in the game a little bit. So hopefully we can.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Our thanks to Siegler as well as to Casey, as his ball club shot 30% from the floor to begin this game in the first half. Got off to the very quick start by Devin Pullum as we take a look at the first half numbers. Again, 30% from the floor for Eastern New Mexico, out-rebounded by 10 against Tennessee. Look at the assists, Vincent.
Absolutely, and that's the difference in the game. New Mexico, even though they know they're outmanned, they're coming into this ball game looking to get some highlight film for their guys. So each and every person wants to come and prove that they can play at this level. Tennessee is quite the opposite. They know they can play at this level. They've been here, and they just have to share the ball and use their quality of players to make them win.
And it really should come as no surprise. The top returning scorers from last year, Lamonte Turner, Jordan Bowden, they lead Tennessee in scoring in this game. Lamonte Turner with 16 points, Bowden right behind with 12.
Absolutely. You're going to see those two guys all year just because they're comfortable in the situation. They're comfortable in the offense. They know where the shots are going to come from. They're looking for each other, and they know they're the two senior leaders on this team. So as they go, the team's going to go. They know they have freshmen that are superiorly talented, but they have to bring them along, and hopefully midway through the season, they can be right where we think they can be.
Right now, they've still got their warm-ups up, so we'll see how much action they will log in the second half as Tennessee continues getting some of the young players some valuable playing time, having this exhibition tonight, and then next Tuesday, regular season starts, and it really does count.
Absolutely. That's going to be huge. Talking with Coach Barnes, he said that he wished that he can have a couple more exhibition games just to get the guys better in sync and some better timing. So anytime you hear that from a coach, you know that season is right around the corner, and they're kind of crunching everything in that they can to get the guys ready for the year.
Again, Tennessee picked to finish 5th in the preseason SEC poll, and a couple of years ago, Tennessee picked to finish 13th and ended up sharing a league championship with Auburn. So you never know how these polls are going to go, but some talented teams listed in front of Tennessee.
Definitely talented teams. You know Kentucky, you know Florida, you know they're going to be there every year. But now you have LSU, you have Auburn, who had a terrific run last year. Coach Pearl's down there doing a heck of a job. But Tennessee's right there. Even after losing 3 of the main cogs in the offense, they know that they still have enough talent on board to be a good team.
Underway in the second half from Thompson Bowling Arena. Tennessee back with the same 5 to begin the second half as they did the first half. Again, all returners. And a foul called early on Eastern New Mexico. Devin Pullum.
Coach told him, you got to come out and from what Coach said at the halftime segment, he's looking to get his guys back in the game. It's not over from his standpoint. So he's coached his guys up, and he's told them, we got to come out here, we got to be aggressive, we got to get into their jerseys and make sure they don't have any space. That's what they're doing. They're pulling up over the top of us and only allowed with space. So now you're going to see those guys take an extra step into them, probably pick up a little more fouls, but they have to be aggressive to get back in the game.
Tennessee tried to find Fulkerson. That led to another hand check foul. 2 quick fouls in the first 20 seconds on the Greyhounds. Near Kovas called the foul. John Fulkerson grabbed Tennessee's first 4 points, ended up with 8 in the first half.
We really got Tennessee off to a great start. Opened it up, showing that we're going to use our size tonight. And anytime Tennessee does that, they're going to be in good shape.
Turner misfires on the 3. Ibn Zaid, the point guard for Eastern New Mexico. First 2 of the second half belong to Yosnir Kobas.
Great move by Kobas right there. Kind of got V's to bite going to the middle, spins on the outside.
And one for Lamonte Turner.
Great touch. Almost completely stopped on the rim. Good heads-up recognition. Driving, a little bit too much contact from the point guard. Here's the whistle, gets it up in the air. The one thing that you can like about Lamonte is Lamonte just came down and shot an air ball. And now he just comes right back down and he's ready to score at any point in time. So the fearlessness, the unconsciousness that you want in your point guard and your leader, you find all those qualities in him. It doesn't matter if he misses one shot. He has complete confidence in himself that he's coming down and knock the next one down.
Now he leads away with 19 points. Meadows driving. Greyhounds able to reset. Here's Murphy.
This Murphy kid can play. He puts it on the floor, even though he's at a little bit of advantage because he's playing against bigger guys. He still has a good game. He's able to go left, he's able to go right, he's athletic, he can shoot it. I really like what he's able to show this today.
Olivier Kumwa back in to replace John Fulkerson. To Makama. He gets the left side layup.
Makama has to find a better way to stay to three-quarter front and quickly get behind so the guy doesn't have a clear angle to the basket. That all comes with a little experience and a little bit of just being in college a little longer.
Kumwa draws the foul.
A little bit too easy, got too high on the three-quarter front. Easy baseline. Good pass there from Pullum.
Now Kumwa to the line. 2 points in the first half. This is the first free throw here.
Younger guy, you can kind of identify some of the areas that he needs to put some work in going forward, but the things that you can't teach him, he does very well already. Being aggressive, attacking the basket, looking for block shots, looking to dunk every ball. And talking to Tony White, who's been around the team for a long time today, he's one of the guys that he was most impressed with, that being such a young, strong guy, how many different things that he can do and how explosive he is.
Murphy, a nifty move. Throws it up and in and draws the foul. Isaiah Murphy.
Yeah, Isaiah Murphy, he came to play basketball tonight. He doesn't care who it is, in Tennessee or Eastern New Mexico. He came to compete tonight, and that's what you see.
Coach Singler told us he transferred to Eastern New Mexico from Pima Junior College in Arizona. That's a team that averages a lot of points per year, and he was the leader there for the last 2 years. So he's used to being in an offense like this.
You can absolutely tell that he can score. Every time he gets it, he's in triple threat position. He's looking to blow by a guy. If you're not down in the defensive stance, it's going to be a long night.
Fulkerson with a rebound. Greyhounds outscoring the Vols 6-4 in the second half. There's Turner. Lost control of it. Pull him drive. Slips and just missed there. Fulkerson throws it to the backcourt, and it'll still be Greyhound basketball.
Great play there by Fulkerson. He knew that he should not have rebounded the ball into the other opponent's basket, so he throws it back, hoping a chance that one of his guards is faster than their guards.
Solid defense by Tennessee. Murphy, though, is open, and he hits.
Murphy's a player. Outside, inside threat, puts it on the floor, looking to attack the basket. If he gets hot, he maybe can bring him back into the game. Tennessee's got to keep some pressure on him.
Turner, just short. Kamal the rebound. There's Fulkerson. Left it short. Missed there. Tennessee still couldn't finish.
Right now is where that conditioning kicks in. They've been up and down. They've been up and down 3, 4, 5 jumps in a row. These are things that you won't see halfway through the season. You won't see Fulkerson miss a layup 2 times in a row. He's going to take it up strong. He's going to finish it. Once he gets his legs up under him, gets out of that preseason conditioning role, then you'll start to see bigger, better plays from Fulky.
Tennessee will get it back out of the air ball from Eastern New Mexico. Tennessee changing it up with Josiah Jordan James back in. Let's go along with Devontae Gaines. Man, they called Ticket. They find him here, and Ticket missed there. Now we'll go to the free throw line. Something about that rim break.
No, just right there, freshman jitters, playing in front of a large crowd right now. Not sure how many they had before. Knowing he played at Hargrave before, sometimes they play in gyms that aren't full. So come out being a little bit excited in the school that you wanted to go to, you're going to miss some shots like that. Thinking back, I can remember my freshman year jumping off the wrong foot, knowing that I was a little bit better than that, but just the excitement and the sheer energy sometimes causes you to do things like that.
Dunlop lost control of the rebound out of play. And the Greyhounds trying to run too fast.
They're looking right now for any advantage they can get. Tennessee's been really tough on the defensive end. They're up 20 right now. Clock's ticking down. 16 minutes left. They know if they want to make it competitive, they're going to have to make a push right now.
And check foul called on Gaines.
I think it's a good call by the referee, but to Gaines' credit, you love to see a kid with his length willing to sit down and guard out there.
Pullum goes to work. All the way to the rim. Left it short and foul called there.
Good job penetrating by Pullum. Tennessee has to make sure that they get over a little bit earlier on the help side. They're watching the ball a little bit too much or paying attention a little bit too much to the guy that's on the weak side. They got to make sure that they're staying strong side or at least even in the lane, ready to stop the drive.
Distractions, missed free throw by Pullum. Let's check in with Casey.
Well, 2 guys that Coach Siegler really brags on a lot is Isaiah Murphy and Devin Pullum. He said they're great leaders for the team. They really work hard and encourage others. He also said they really embody what Coach Siegler wants this team's identity to be, and that's a family. He said the 2 are extremely close. They live together, and they even spent the summer together working out, preparing for the season. Guys.
Thanks, Casey. You got to have a cohesive team like that as Fulkerson goes to work. And he draws the foul. That says a lot about the culture of their program.
Absolutely. And to Coach Siegler's credit, you can tell that on the court. They've not had one argument. They've not had one encounter where there was a miscommunication. Everybody makes mistakes, but their team seems to work it out somehow through communication.
10-5 run to begin the second half for the Greyhounds, still trailing, though, in Knoxville.
Our very first ball spiller. Okay. Students have letter B.
The SEC turning into one of the nation's premier basketball conferences. Tennessee has been part of that over the last few years, and even though tonight's an exhibition game, you still get the feeling of excitement here in Knoxville.
Absolutely. It's just like a carryover from last year, that same excitement the fans bring, the production team brings here to make it a special game for everybody. You can tell that it's one of the special places. I think there was a vote this year on something about the team, about the arenas, right?
Yeah, opposing players during SEC tip-off, the media event getting ready for the season, they said the place they liked playing the least was Thompson Bowling Arena, just because it is so electric in this building when Tennessee's playing well.
It is. I mean, not to take anything away from the other arenas around the SEC that have large crowds, but Tennessee's crowd is definitely different. The fans are a lot closer than they are in, say, for instance, Rupp Arena, so it gives you a different feel.
Devontae Gaines with a quick score coming out of timeout. Good to see that for Tennessee. The Vols have won 26 games in a row here inside of Thompson Bowling Arena. Haven't lost in this building since the 2017-2018 season.
Yeah, the fans are becoming accustomed to seeing a well-coached basketball team, a well-oiled machine. And every year, Coach Barnes puts out the same type of product. You may not have the same cast of characters, they may not have the same talent, but every year the expectation of hard work, dedication, and showing young men how to be good men is what's the expectation for Coach Barnes.
After the turnover, it's Tennessee going to work with Josiah Jordan-James running the point. Gaines pressured. Here's Fulkerson. Baseline jumper. Off the iron. Greyhounds in transition, but a quick steal. James and Bowden out to Fulkerson. Get that man some Frenchie fries.
Ooh, high up top for the finish.
The Kingsport native, John Fulkerson. His highlight reel dunks.
At his best, getting out in that open court. He's got to find that this year to turn it back to where he was his freshman season. There he was electric. He played a lot like a guy that I played with in Denver, the Birdman, Chris Anderson. Reckless abandon, goes after everything, blocks shots, rebounds, and that's when Fulker's at his best.
That's how he became a fan favorite right away, even in some of the exhibitions early his freshman year.
Absolutely. That guy right there, if he's willing to dedicate it, Bowden, if he's willing to come and night in and night out take shots and not accept the amount of shots that he gets, then Tennessee's going to go long and far, because he's super talented, super athletic. The only thing is his personality sometimes doesn't let him be that alpha dog and come out there and go for 20. See, here's for Fulk is just fantastic. It doesn't matter who's coming. If it was Shaq coming, he's still going to try to dunk on him. So the kid from Eastern New Mexico, he really didn't have a chance. He really didn't know what he was running up against.
Fans love that from Fulkerson. And really, Drew Pember in a lot of ways is very similar to John.
He is, and if you're not paying attention, their motions and their bodies look a lot alike. And I think Drew's a little bit more offensively skilled with the jump shot and things like that than Fulke is. Fulke's more of a banger, second chance opportunities, energy guy. But both of them complement each other well, and I think that's why Coach Barnes has them on the court at the same time.
Step back from Pullum. Tap to Tennessee. James in his floor vision finds Bowden. Beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot. If we can get that from Bowden, if he wants to do that, if he wants to be that 20-point scorer in the SEC, then he's going to do the same types of things that the Big Three did last year. He's that talented, he's that explosive, and he may be an even better athlete than anybody that left last year.
Now Tennessee in transition again. Pember from three. There's Fulkerson saving it again. Pember again. Right on the line, in and out. Kamau the rebound and the finish.
Good job. Got a big fella. Could have kicked it out again to try to keep it going around again, but decided that the point guard was on him, didn't box out. Easy finishing inside.
Timeout, Eastern New Mexico. It's been a 10-0 run for the Big Orange over the last 2 minutes. In front, 67-38. Rick Barnes and the Volunteers looking strong in their exhibition game tonight with Eastern New Mexico, and Tennessee will be challenged this year. We saw last year how the non-conference slate really built up Tennessee going into conference play. This year, no exception.
Absolutely. Last year, they seemed to get better and better, and about by the Purdue game, they felt that they lost that one because of a few things. Grant got in foul trouble, had to go out of the game, and they really didn't know how to adjust to that. Coming back, Coach Barnes put together a great program, and then from that point on, they were steamrolling everybody. So coming down the stretch this year, I think they're going to have a lot of good challenges, but due to the great coaching staff that Tennessee has assembled, they're going to be able to help them get through it.
Last year, Tennessee, before Christmas, had a nice win at Memphis, and Penny Hardaway's team, much improved with the recruiting class he had. This atmosphere we were talking about inside Thompson Bowling Arena, you want to talk about electric?
Yeah,
this will be the place to be on December 14th.
Absolutely, and the roles are kind of reversed. Last year, Tennessee was the big dog. This year, Memphis comes in as the ranked team, but it's going to be just as electric and just as much as a dog fight as it was last year.
It's getting back to Tennessee and Memphis again.
Absolutely, I like it. When I played, it was one of the most exciting games for us because you hear about guys that are on the other side of the state, but you never get to see them. You know, I wouldn't even mind if it was a home and away game there. You know, just for a 1-1. But it's a special rivalry, and Memphis is a special basketball place. But Knoxville, you know, we hold the crown as basketball king around here.
And the players know each other from the AAU circuit, high school basketball. That makes it even more special, right?
It's a friendly rivalry. We went down 2 or 3 years ago and actually played an alumni game against the Memphis alumni and had a good time. So it's all in good fun and all in competition. A lot of us are friends throughout the years playing in professionals and getting to know each other a little bit better there. So.
Gumwah called for the foul, so they'll send Ibn Zaid to the free throw line, the native of Los Angeles, California, JUCO transfer point guard out of Gavilan College. Three points for him in the game. Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, the SEC Nation traveling pregame show will be in Jacksonville for number 10 Georgia and number 7 Florida, with Marty, Marcus, Paul, and Tim as they break down everything from the gridiron to the grill for Week 10 of the college football season. SEC Nation presented by Aflac, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Good mixture on the floor right now of young versus old for Tennessee as James goes to Pember. Get used to it.
Absolutely. Those two, they complement each other well also. I like what Coach Barnes has on the court right now, getting Josiah some point guard time with Lamonte at the shooting guard. I like Eves playing at the 3 with the 2 other big guys. Just a complete different look that's going to get the same effect.
Backboard violation on the Greyhounds.
There's a good penetration here by James, looking for Drew, cutting heads up. Excellent job for a freshman to find another big freshman cutting.
7 assists already in this ballgame for James.
Good with limited minutes. He's been out with injury. He hasn't had a bunch of time on the court here. So the things that he's able to do, we're just getting a glimpse right now. He's super talented, super explosive. So he's going to become a fan favorite easily because his willingness to share the ball.
Eve Pons with his first points of the night.
Now, that's the guy. Air Pons is what we need to see to cap the night off. At least one from him. You know, he's such an electric player. He's made such great strides. As we saw his shoot around last year, his translator was almost glued to him. Everywhere that he went, you would see him right beside him. This year, they're completely away from each other. Nobody has to translate. Nobody has to communicate for him. So he's kind of assimilating to American.
Gumwah left it a bit short, but the foul called, and free throws coming up for him after this next timeout on the floor. So the Volunteers have hit their last 4 shots from the floor, maintaining a solid lead here in Knoxville. Tennessee with a 31-point advantage over Eastern New Mexico in this lone exhibition of the year. Again, the regular season gets started for the Volunteers coming up on Tuesday against UNC Asheville. But again, we keep hearing from Coach Barnes. He is confident about this group of Volunteers.
He is. Even over the team last year that everybody could see was a great team. He came in and he was on the edge about it. Here, he's decided that he likes this team. And you can tell way that he communicates with these guys, he's more in a teaching mode. Like, he was trying to get something out of those guys last time, and he understands he's in a different position right now. So to build those guys' confidence up, to get them to play at the level that he wants them at, then he has to show them a little bit more love than the little bit more tough love that he showed last year.
Certainly paying off tonight. Tennessee shooting better than 50% from the floor. Lamonte Turner's had 19 points, 16 from Jordan Bowden. And then Josiah Jordan-James, all the talk about him, and we're seeing that he really can distribute the basketball. 4 points, but most importantly, 7 assists.
Absolutely. That's the one thing you see. Guys, you hear they come in with this point guard label on them, especially the big guard. But can they really play point guard? That's what I was interested in seeing. This guy can really play point guard. He can look over the top of guys. He has enough patience. There's not been one guy that's been able to speed him up tonight. So that translates to he's going to do well throughout the season. He's going to be able to compete and play in the SEC.
Let's check in with Casey.
Well, Coach Barnes said Josiah is the kind of player they will use in every way possible this season because of his versatility. He said Josiah is the type of player who will do whatever the coaches ask of him. And one thing Barnes wants to see more from him is taking the opportunity to look for his shot. He said he loves to pass the ball. I mean, he's leading the team in assists tonight, but sometimes it's okay for him to be a little selfish and create looks for himself, guys.
Thank you, Casey. Zay travels the basketball back to Tennessee, and now we'll get another opportunity to see how Josiah really sees the floor and distributes the ball.
He does, and with age and with experience, then he'll start finding his scoring opportunities. He'll start knowing when to take over the game. Right now, he's still a young point guard with a lot of tools, a lot of talent. So give him a little bit of time to get everything down, and then he's going to be fine. Halfway through the year, he'll be a completely different player than he is right now.
Here's Potts. Mostly scored last year off of dunks, or nearly half of his scores were off dunks. More layups or outside opportunities for him outside, not outside for some other players.
Well, you can tell that they've really worked on him developing a true post move and a true jump shot. He was able to knock a few down just almost by default last year. We were more impressed with his athletic ability, but now they've moved him to more of a rover 3-4 rather than a complete perimeter player, and you're going to see a lot more action or a lot better things out of him than just standing on the perimeter.
Beautiful assist. Right from Turner, right to Bowden for the Tennessee 2.
Electric 2. If they can continue to build that chemistry throughout the year, get those younger guys caught up to the SEC level play, they're going to have just a successful year they had last year.
Now 6 assists for Turner. Let's go along with his 19 points, Bowden up to 18. Murphy lost his footing and still a foul call.
Here we're going to see a great look here from Turner over the top, Bowden cutting. That's what he does best. He's probably the most athletic player on the team, him and Beast. He needs to see a lot more of him out in open court, pushing it, grabbing it off the board, and just taking it to the other side.
Murphy back at the free throw line. Leading scorer in this game with 15 for the free throw line. And he misses the front end there. James trying to feed Kent under the basket. Tapped back in play to the Greyhounds as Kent just back to his feet on the other end. And then the foul called on James, and foul probably with James thinking Tennessee did not have the right numbers for that opportunity for the Greyhounds.
A smart foul by James. I know he's not in foul trouble. He gave it up for his team, just like Coach Barnes talked about. He's going to do whatever he can to help the team, and that's just what type of kid you can see that he is. He hasn't come out and started gunning. I think he has 2 or 3 shots on the night. So as you see a highly touted freshman coming in, expected to be possibly 1 and done, 2 and done type of player, you normally think those guys are going to come down and put up 20. This kid is a different type of kid. He has special attributes that aren't always scoring.
Fulham hits the front end of the 1-and-1. Again, he led the Greyhounds in scoring last year with 12 points per game. Last year he had a 39-point performance. That was against Texas A&M Commerce. Highest individual point total for a Greyhound since the year 2000. Now he's up to 16 tonight.
Coach Ziegler came in here to accomplish something. The win was the ultimate goal, but at the end of the day, he knew that he wanted to get some pain for his guys. And there's two guys that stand out in the court for me with Pullum and Isaiah Murphy. That they have some.
Monster block there.
They have some pretty good film into that. That probably won't make the film for Murphy, but
just leave that off.
Yeah, leave that off. But the things that he's been able to do tonight, it shows that he can compete at this level.
Backcourt violation. Tennessee turning up the pressure. 3 minutes 39 seconds without a field goal. Look at how high Eve can jump.
That's not a normal thing. To jump off vertically, hit your head on the rim. He's superiorly athletic. As you see, he really takes great care of his body. He's in physically fit, great shape, and that translates to just an explosive person.
Dan Kwani says, hey, I can block too. Shutting down Bowden. Pull him. Left and short. Here comes Tennessee. And a hand check on Kwani.
Exactly what Turner's supposed to do. Control the ball, senior point guard. Any free throws that should be shot, him and Bowden should take turns until Coach Barnes checks them out of the game.
And it will be Turner to the line. A couple years ago, sixth man of the year in the SEC. Led the Vols with 73 pointers. 53% of his career field goals, 3-pointers. Last year was limited early in the season with a shoulder injury, but when it came time for conference play, SEC tournament, NCAA tournament, he was ready to go.
He's in the same position that guy I played with, Ron Slay. Ron Slay, SEC sixth man of the year. Lose two guys to the NBA, myself and Marcus Hayslip. He just lost three. But the thing about Ron Slay is he comes back the next year and he's SEC Player of the Year. I think Lamonte can have that type of effect with the wave that they have from last year, the respect that they're getting at fifth. If he comes out and plays his game and does it at this level, I think that he possibly could be looking at a Player of the Year type of situation.
Excellent feed there as Bowden continues Tennessee's dominance in the second half.
An excellent look here by Lamonte. Scrappy on the ball, sees his guy streaking, knowing what he can do, and Bowden just uses fantastic in the open court.
Bowden now up to 20 points. He's a perfect 4 of 4 at the line. Here's his and one opportunity. 5 of 5. Now, are SEC teams going to have to pick their poison with Turner and Bowden?
They are. They're going to have to put their best defender on one of them, and the other one has to be aggressive that night. He can't take the night off. He has to make sure that whatever it is that he's going to have to accept the challenge and become the man that night. He can't depend on Lamonte to do it, and Lamonte can't depend on him to do it. They both have to bring that fire to the game. And if they do, that's going to push everybody else on the team to come and meet their level of play.
Turner called for the foul that will send Evan Pullum back to the free throw line.
Pullum's also a smart player. Point guard, knows how to get to the line. Like you said, huge point explosion last year against, Texas?
Texas A&M Commerce, yeah. 39 points.
You can definitely see that within him. He's a high-energy guy, has a great outside shot. Right now, he's shooting a little bit too deep just because Tennessee's length, but you can see in their conference how he could be really effective.
Ball's pushing in transition to Fulkerson. And his pocket picks, but a foul.
That one thing right there that Tennessee's added to their game, we saw them working on passing at the shoot-around, and it was kind of odd. But now I see what they're doing. They're rebounding the ball off the glass, one bounce from the point guard or whoever receives the outlet pass, looking down the court, and they have post guys that are really athletic that are able to sprint the court and seal. Fulkerson, James, Johnson, Olivier, Drew, all these guys, that suits their game. They're not big, huge, back-down guys, so getting them in the open court, pushing that ball, letting them outrun the other guy, that's going to suit them really well.
Tennessee lighting it up to 85 points. Able to get there a lot last year. Fulkerson in double figures tonight. Left that one short.
Tennessee needs that. They have to have that inside presence. We know that the guards, they're going to do what they're going to do. Lamonte's going to have a good year. Bowden's going to have a good year. But we have to have somebody emerge in that middle that takes the pressure off those guys and allows them to do what they do best.
Turner with a nice steal to Bowden. And Meadows just disrupted what would have been another big opportunity for a dunk or an easy layup.
The one area that I can see Turner's turned his game around in is on the defensive end. Like he's always been a guy that is willing to play defense, but right now his ability to get his hands in the passing lane, deflect passes, and even pick a guy's pocket like he did right there, I just didn't see that last year in him. He was a great on-ball defender, but his tenacity at getting the ball was a little bit lackluster. This year he's turned it all the way up.
Almost to Tony Green's liking. Saturday, we'll have another full slate of college football right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. First of all, we'll kick off the day at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central with Texas A&M hosting UTSA in College Station. Then it's Mississippi State taking on Arkansas at Fayetteville, and Vandy is in Columbia to cap off the day against South Carolina. That'll be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern in our SEC Saturday night matchup. Jordan Bowden. A big night in this exhibition. Up to 22 points. Jacob Fleshman will get an opportunity to log some valuable minutes. We've seen him come in some exhibition games and even some regular season games, and he is known as a sharpshooter.
He is, and the one thing the coach knows, he's going to get instant offense from Jacob, and he knows he's going to get a tenacious defender. You can see him. He's going to get all into the guy. He's been reserving his energy all game for this point to come in here and give it all at the end.
Block from behind from Pember. Turner. Tennessee will finish with Jalen Johnson right at the rim.
Good job. Another guy we'd like to see get going. Long, athletic wing player, nice jump shot. Just has to develop that killer mentality that he going to attack and use that ability every time.
And after the quick bucket by Cobos, it's a timeout taken by Eastern New Mexico, so we'll step aside as well. It's the Volunteers feeling it, up 88-48 in Knoxville. Back in Knoxville, it's Tennessee enjoying a 40-point lead over Eastern New Mexico. And once again, we say hello to our reporter, Casey Funderburg.
Roger, both Coach Siegler and his associate coach, Andre Shaw, come from coaching families. Coach Shaw's dad was a head coach, and Coach Siegler is a third-generation head coach. His grandfather and his dad were both head basketball coaches. And what's really interesting about his dad is that he actually stepped down from the college level to coach Siegler and his brother while they were in high school because he wanted to be able to experience that part of their lives. Guys.
Thank you, Casey, and that is just a unique connection there. And Siegler, he just oozes confidence into his players. I mean, earlier today, his shoot-around as energetic as any we've seen come into Thompson-Boling Arena in years, and you can tell he's keeping his energy up all throughout this game.
Absolutely. There's one thing that Coach Barnes said about Siegler that stands out in my mind. He said, this guy's never had a bad day. So that lets me know that this guy is very resilient, and he makes tough situations, and he just deals with them. This is a tough situation right now, being down by 40 in Tennessee's home court. Is a time you can pack the 10 and you can go home, and it can go up to 100, or you can buckle down and get back to playing basketball your way and choose this to be a teaching moment and learning moment for these kids. And I think that's what Coach Siegler just called a timeout to do. It wasn't to do anything more than get a couple people in and say, hey guys, this game is not over with. We're here still to work on the things that we came to work on.
And Siegler was a manager for Barnes in Texas. Austin, Texas native. Jacob Fleshman just missed that three. Fleshman again. Finds Johnson. In and out. Pember flies in for the board. Back to Fleshman. Ball movement. Just missed there. And the basketball will go back to Eastern New Mexico. Get the connection for Siegler and Coach Barnes. Last time Trace Siegler was in this building, you have to go back to December 23rd, 2006. Rick Barnes was the head coach at Texas.
Wow.
Brought his Longhorns here, and everybody remembers it. Chris Lofton shooting that long three-pointer over Kevin Durant. Tennessee had a huge comeback, eventually beat Texas in overtime.
Absolutely.
Trace Siegler back in this building.
I think that might have been the last time Kevin Durant was held under 20 points.
Was a memorable game for sure. There's James.
That's what he's going to be really good at. Huge shoulders, big body, 6'6", difficult to stop. If he gets that deep, it's going to be really hard to stop his elevation. Plays with the maturity of a junior or a senior, never rushing. And as I told you as shooter, I wanted to see if he could be sped up. As of yet, he hasn't been sped up. He's been at the point guard position. So that's a good sign for Tennessee.
Got a deflection there. Got nearly missed here. Collins over everybody. Tennessee will get two.
But sometimes Pons isn't fair. Like, everybody else is on the ground, and he's already up there. He jumps so quick. It's that his knack, his instinct to get to the ball is second to none.
Thought he was going to take off the shot clock. Turner being scrappy.
I'm happy for the other kid that he didn't catch.
A lot of contact right at half court.
I've made ESPN for the wrong reasons a few times myself, but that one right there, that would have made ESPN.
And they'll draw off the floor before we continue after the turnover by Eastern New Mexico. Bonds from three.
Great basketball movement right there. Tennessee wanted to get the ball in the floors, and they doubled down, wouldn't let it happen. These steps out, an easy bucket.
Jose Serrano finds John Core, and he connects. He's John Core of the Greyhounds. Fulkerson. Control of it. Turnover. Steal by Tanner Carter, describes the glue guy on this team for Eastern New Mexico. Travel underneath by Mahaga.
There's one thing that Eastern New Mexico can take home from this game, is that as long as they continue to compete, good things are going to happen. They have a lot of good things that have happened for them tonight. This Tennessee is a lot more. So if they go back to their conference at the D2 level and continue to compete like this every possession, night in and night out, there's going to be some great things that happen for them this year.
And next up, they'll have another exhibition against a D1 school going to New Mexico November 6th. Did not get the roll from Bowden. Carter. Turner sizing it up. And a kick.
I really like what Turner's doing tonight. I like how he's controlled the team. I like how he's taking his shots. I like how he's looked for his opportunities. And I think for a senior guard, on your first night out in front of everybody, that's a comforting sign for you. You know, there'll always be a little bit of nervousness about what am I going to do, how is the year going to be. If you can get out here and you can get a couple of easy buckets and then take it over from there and find a few of your teammates, it takes a lot of stress off of you as far as how am I going to do this year, how is it going to go. Not to say that every game is going to go like this, but it does allow you some comfort as your senior year. I'm where I thought I should be.
And that all the hard work in the summer is really paying off.
Absolutely, and you can definitely tell that everybody on the team has added at least one thing to their game. Freshmen are just picking up how to play
walked over everyone again.
Yeah, it was almost goaltending because he hit his ponytail on the rim.
Here's James underneath. Finds Pons. Fulkerson. It's about. In and out, but there's James.
Yeah, effortless. The willingness of Tennessee basketball to share the ball with each other is second to none in the country right now. They're coming down there making at least 4 to 5 passes with the possession, and they're actually looking for the defensive mistake. And that's the good sign of a good team, a good offensive team. Right here, almost off the vertical, no box out, too easy for 6'6" James.
Now in double figures with 10 points. He's got 7 assists. 3 won't go there. Nearly had the rebound.
The mark of a good player is always, you look at the stat sheet and I didn't see him do a heck of a lot tonight, but he's a stat stuffer. He's 7-8 points, 7-8 assists, 7-8 rebounds. You know, consistently, and that's what you're looking for. That's why coach is able to use him in so many different situations. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 with the strength he has.
Finds Pons. Just off the mark from 3.
All good shots from Tennessee. Great ball movement, great willingness to share the ball as a team.
Saved through traffic, left it short. Here come the balls. Turner lost control of it through traffic. Junkor, Kiwani draws the foul. So he'll be shooting free throws when we come back to Knoxville. The final 3:29 coming up. It's Tennessee in front, 97-51. Tennessee in front against Eastern New Mexico in this lone exhibition of the year for Rick Barnes and his basketball team. Next up for the Volunteers, opening night. It's going to be an exciting opening night. Of course, the Vols taking on UNC Asheville, but Vincent, some very marquee matchups. We're going to need to glued to the television coming up next Tuesday.
Absolutely. You got Kansas Duke. You got Vernon Carey Jr., an absolute monster. I was able to see him down in Miami this summer. He's going to be a really powerful player this year. You got Wisconsin, St. Mary's, a possible opponent for Tennessee down the stretch. Then you got Kentucky, who you know you're going to see playing against Michigan State, 2 really talented teams. Surprised to see Kentucky up there at number 2 so early, but you know Coach Cal does such a great job with those players, especially midway through the season, turning them freshmen into grown men. So it's going to be a great opening night, and hopefully the Vols can take care of business against UNC Asheville and put another win in the column.
Absolutely, and even Coach Cal's team lost to Duke last year on the opening night game. Zion had the big performance, and you wondered, what's Kentucky going to do? Well, they ended up having a terrific season, won the SEC tournament.
It looked like they weren't even the Kentucky the same, you know, but then P.J. Washington and those guys started putting it together and going down the stretch. They made it really difficult. And if it wasn't for the experience of Tennessee, probably would have been the best team in the SEC, you know, throughout the regular season. So.
Dane Kiwani missing that one, but the rebound by Mateus getting tangled up with Johnson. Nico Mateus. Fleshman called for the foul on Tennessee.
Coach Siegel's done a good job of getting all his guys into the game, and at least like he wanted some film on them against great competition, you know. So if they can come back next year and this year and do some of the same things that they've been able to do against Tennessee at their level, I think they'll be okay.
Devontae Gaines lost control of it. John Cord trying to keep it in play, does to Kiwani, his 3, in and out. Gaines another tough time in transition.
It's tough to play point guard against, especially when you're 6'6", against a 5'9", 5'10" guy. You know, he's naturally a point guard. You're trying to make the transition from a high school possible point guard to a collegiate point guard at some point in time. And when you're playing against a guy much smarter than you and you're not protecting the ball, dribbling with it in front of you, it's going to be difficult to bring it up the court. You know, he's going to have to use his size and go with more of a Magic Johnson style approach, putting him on your hip, looking over the top of him and walking him down if he's going to play point guard rather than trying to put it in front of him and playing the game that the point guard has a better opportunity at.
Drew Pember back in. And Manning grabs a quick board, but falls to the floor.
Looked like he tweaked his ankle.
Marvin Paga, his fourth.
And Pember helped to his feet. It's not putting any weight on that right ankle.
And on his foot.
Pember hopping off the floor, assisted by longtime Tennessee Associate Director of Sports Medicine, Chad Newman.
The best in the business.
Hey, he took care of you, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He takes care of everybody. Former players, you come back, you need anything, Chad Newman's your guy. You need to go to a doctor, Chad Newman's your guy. He's going to show you so much love. His family's a fantastic family. His wife, Stacy, bakes cookies for the kids, treats everybody like you're a kid, their own kid. Yeah, everybody loves Chad. Everybody loves Stacy.
Fleshman knocking down the free throws to get Tennessee to 99. Brock Jancic just came in to take over for Fleshman. Jancic played at Knoxville Catholic. Dad, a former defensive coordinator here, John Jancic. Junkor. There's Kim with a rebound. Tennessee trying to get over 100. Jalen Johnson gets them there.
Right over. Good looking shot there from Johnson. Want to see more of that from him. I like Ticket here at Gaines, a.k.a. Ticket here at the point guard, showing that he has a lot of versatility. Learned from the last two plays, and now he's going to settle in.
That was a tough two from Matthew Mazik, the Birmingham, Alabama native.
Good job, Gaines here with the huge size advantage, able to see over the top, and then looking to get 100 points. Johnson steps in and knocks it down.
Some limited minutes for him. He came in along with Grant Williams, Jordan Bone, guys like that. Has had to wait his turn, but he could be called upon for a lot this year. Jalen Johnson.
Absolutely. He needs to have a breakout season this year, and he's been here a while. He's been here long enough to learn what Coach Barnes wants out of him. Now it's just about him going to apply it. You know? Not sitting in the corner all the time waiting for a shot, but using that athletic ability, grabbing it off the board, taking it coast to coast. Those are the things that he can add to his game that don't require Coach Barnes to draw a traditional set that allow him to score.
Here's Devontae Gaines to the free throw line. And the nickname Ticket in high school, averaged 18 points per game, had 22 double-doubles, 4 triple-doubles, 3 quadruple-doubles as a senior.
Yeah, you can tell that he's loaded with skill, he's loaded with ability. His willingness to guard and the things that he does, those are going to be the things that separates him. Right here, you see a 6'6" kid sitting down on the waist of a 6-foot kid, you know. And if he's willing to do that, that's something that you just can't teach.
Fighting inside, Mapaga draws the foul.
Mapaga's looked for a shot all night, just had a difficult time putting it in the rim.
Yeah, 1 for 7 from the floor.
And it's been right at the rim, you know. The size of Kent, the size of Fulkerson has bothered him all night. As a Division I program, bringing a Division II program in, this is what you ultimately would like to see. You know, you want to have great competition in the first half, but then you want to see yourself separate through quality of your players, through quality of your execution, and to make sure that you know what you're getting out of each and every guy.
Tennessee trying to finish strong. Gaines lost control of it up. Stays in play, though. Here's Jancic fighting. Score!
Big, strong kid. You let him football family background, so you know he's lifted some weights. Big, strong kid. You let him get that close. It's over for you.
Mateus works inside. Nifty moves. Couldn't finish. Meadows.
The thing that I respect about guys like Jancic and Fleischman is how they can sit on the bench the whole game and come in and contribute like they're already warm. There's no way that these kids can be warmed up, but they're moving around and they're ready to do what they want to do. It's all committed for the team, and I love to see that.
There's Kent.
That's a big-time shot right there. If he can develop that shot, then I can see Barnes going to him in the post a few times.
And with foul trouble, Tennessee's going to have to rely on him in some big games coming up this year.
Absolutely.
Mapaga won't go there. There's Carter, though, in the finish.
Good job. Mapaga's just having difficulty. He's getting open shots. He's just not being able to knock them down.
Haynes may just dribble this one out. Jancic back to work. 5 seconds. Off the rim. Tennessee's exhibition schedule completes. A dominant win tonight, 107-57, as Rick Barnes welcomes Trace Siegler to Knoxville. What a great moment for those two guys to meet on this floor.
Yeah, great game tonight. Tennessee came out and executed exactly what Coach Barnes wanted them to do. Trace Siegler came and got exactly what he wanted for his guys. He knew the win probably wasn't within reach, but to get some film for his guys to have an opportunity to play far beyond college is exactly what they came for. And I think both programs were served well by tonight.
Well, Tennessee was looking to Lamonte Turner and Jordan Bowden to lead this team after losing so much, 70% of the scoring from last year, and tonight they did not disappoint.
They did. It was like they didn't miss a beat. You know they're used to playing with Grant and Admiral and Bone, but they come out tonight and they have their own identity right now. They're coming, they're pushing the ball, they're looking for each other, they're putting up a lot of shots, and I think that's going to bode well for them going down the stretch.
Credit Devin Pullum with 18 points, had some quick threes to begin the ball game that gave the Greyhounds the early lead. John Fulkerson, solid minutes as well, 11 points for him, and one of the biggest dunks of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. To see Fulke get back out there, getting up and down, looking like he's healthy, those are one of the things that I look forward to seeing, coming and seeing everybody get onto the court and everybody applying themselves is great.
Let's check in with Casey standing by with Lamonte Turner.
Lamonte, you had 23 points tonight. How did it feel to be back out on the court?
It felt good just to get back out here and, kind of get a sweat going with my guys. We played a good team. They're going to do great in their league. So to get out here and kind of, get going and with these new guys, these new faces, it felt good.
UNC Asheville next week to open up the season. What all does your team need to do after tonight to prepare for next week?
We just got to get back and watch the film. We gave up some offensive rebounds that, Coach is not going to be happy about. So just get in there, watching that, kind of learn from our mistakes and get ready to move forward.
Thanks, Lamonte.
Thank you.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks as well to Lamonte Turner and Vincent Yarbrough. A lot for Tennessee fans to be excited about for the season opener next Tuesday.
Absolutely. I think with the additions of the young guys, James, Ticket, with the old guys, Bowden, Turner coming back, we're going to have a great mesh of young versus old, which is going to only boost and allow them to do a lot of great things throughout the season. So what Coach Barnes has assembled is another great team. What Coach Siegler has consumed is another great team for his team, and they're both going to do well.
So for Vincent Yarbrough, I'm Roger Hoover saying so long from Knoxville. Once again, our final score, Tennessee 107, Eastern New Mexico 59. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on SEC Network, download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.